the voices in my head. Oh my God, my hair. Okay. I don't even know what to say about the hair. Oh my God, look at this. Look at these, like, you can see my scalp. In the beginning, when the voices, like, back in 2018, they kept screaming in my head, scalp, 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 scalp. Like, they want to, you don't understand. They sound like terrorists and, like, the most hurtful, psychotic people on the planet. And they keep saying they're from my country of origin, but they're U.S. citizens, born and raised, some of them, here in the United States, in California in particular, LA and Orange County. And all they keep doing is abusing, like, they want my unborn children to die inside me. They want me to age so no man wants me. They want me looking retarded, crazy, like I do drugs. The voices in my head are literally the most insensitive, sickening things. And I know it sounds like I'm saying it like, okay, it's in my head, like it's me, but it's not. I'm so baffled by it that I know there's a conflict in my head. Okay. My brain feels challenged on a regular basis. Like from me, me. And well, not me. Like those aren't that's not the voices in my head. Like they sound demonic. They sound satanic. They don't actually sound like me. It almost feels like my head got hacked. That's what it feels like. And the voices sound so damn real. I mean, so crazy real, so insanely real. But of course, I place my phone down, I record. It's never ever anyone around me. The voices are consistent everywhere I go, the same voices. Almost like, but it's almost like real people assigned voices, like a certain voice print. And that voice print is theirs permanently to identify who is in front of a computer that has telepathy capabilities. And whenever they're on the shift, they use that voice to talk into my head. Literally, that's what it sounds like. And so where it doesn't, like, I don't necessarily hear one consistent voice. I'll hear maybe 5 or 10. I want to say I have more. I have about 10, possibly more. But but they're consistent. I mean, I've heard them several times before. And it's everywhere I go. I could be in the car. I could be at the store. I can be at home. I could be at the office. I could be at the gym. It's the same exact voices. And I'm just going to say their voice prints or same exact voice prints, that I hear all the time. And it's crazy. It's actually crazy. They say some of the most disgusting things. The voices, excuse me, of the women in particular, I have to say, have to be by far the most disgusting sounding I have ever heard. Imagine a woman to another woman is encouraging, well, to her brother or her dad, or her brother's best friend, a terrorist, is encouraging him to beat another woman to death or torture her to death. That is literally that is their job in my head. So the men will sit there and the women will cheerlead. And then they'll sit there and they'll dress up, they'll smoke cigars, they'll drink. I can see this, like there's a visual in my head. They're in a house, they're smoking, they're drinking whiskey or whatever they drink. I don't know. I don't like alcohol. And I'll see them cheersing, smoking hookah, and like completely, and then saying, we want your kids to die inside of you. There's a saying in Arabic, right? It's called Haymutu Fiki. That means they're going to die inside of you. But in for the Arab culture, or not the Arab, for the Egyptian culture, I don't know about Arabs, but in the Egyptian culture specifically, that's like, oh, like, they're dying to see you kind of deal. It's almost like that, but like, they're gonna die for you type of deal, or die inside of you. Like, most literally translated, it's haimuto fiki, means they're gonna die inside of you. That is an exact translation. And so they'll laugh in my head and say, haha, that's what it actually means. Haha, we want your kids to die, your unborn kids to die. In my head. And I'm just like, I cry bloody murder every day. Like, what is going on with my head? This is crazy. And of course, like, it was about 6 years ago when this first started, right before I heard the voices. I was talking to my mom and I was like, okay, I've had one unsuccessful relationship, no big deal, we're still cordial, things are fine, the kids are great. Mom, I just have to get back on my feet because I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'd like to eventually find someone, work, feel good, do all this. And then, a couple months later, I hear voices in my head and they are screaming at the top of their lungs in my head, to the point I thought it was my neighbors. I did not know that it was schizophrenia. I had no idea. I don't do drugs. I did have a fall. I fell prior to that by a couple years. Doctor said that's a possible reason as to why the onset, I have schizophrenia now, or the onset of it. But I don't do drugs and I don't have family history of it. So it just started out of nowhere, and it was like right when I was like, okay. And we're trying to move on, and I was trying to really help out with my mom, helping her with her expenses, and I'm still trying, still working, still doing everything. But my dad had just passed away too, and it was like the voices, and they would laugh and laugh because I would run from one place to the other. I ended up moving 4 times or 5 because I thought someone was stalking me. And then finally, when the police came and they were like, Brene, you need to go see a medical professional. No one's stalking you. There's nothing going on here. And they actually said that to me a few times, that I said, okay, I sat there and I had to evaluate what was going on in my head. And at that point, the voices were like, ha ha, you stupid bee, we're in your head, you stupid bee, we're terrorists, you stupid bee. And I promise you not, this has been what's going on in my head. This is my experience with schizophrenia. And it will paranoid anyone. Like, there is no schizophrenic that isn't paranoid. I know they take medications, but I'm almost certain that a lot of them experience what I'm experiencing. And I'm trying medications. Some people have luck with them, some don't. Unfortunately, it's like sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So, I mean, I prefer for sometimes not to hear them than to hear them every day. So I take my meds as prescribed, but nonetheless, the voices in my head are just, for the most part, it's an everyday thing. The medications just tone it down slightly, but they're disgusting. Like, I mean, scary sounding, like they're really terrorists. And from the time that it started, the voices would say, oh, your hair is gonna fall out. And it's going to be really thin. And they told this like weird story about like a beautiful girl who got left by a guy or something, and she just drank her sorrows away. And the more that she drank, the more the more ugly she got, right? Until she turned into a goblin and she died or something from drinking her life away or something like that. And so would happen is like I would go out and I would ignore the voices, and I was just like, okay, this is a part of my life, and I would try to just move on. When I would move on and it was obvious, I'm not a drinker. I like the gym. I like outdoor sports. I'm not athletic in any way, but I do just, I like the festivities. I like being involved, and I just like clean fun. I don't find that it's bad fun to drink. It's just not my preferred way of enjoying myself. So when that became obvious, or when that was like to the voices in my head, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but once that started happening and I was getting attention from guys and I was really taking care of myself, and I was getting asked out every other day, the voices were saying, haha, you remember when we told you your hair is going to fall out? Well, now it's going to fall out. You stupid bee, you stupid bee. No, you're not a professional. No, you're not going to go to the gym. No, you're not going to do this. No, you're not going to look gorgeous. No, you're not going to look young. No, you're not going to do this. And my hair, I promise you, fell out by the chunks. Like, this is like, I look at my photos, I mean, like, my hairline was right here. Okay? And then these hollows started around my eyes, and I started to swell, and I thought, okay, this is crazy. And then I go to the gym, I feel like I'm being suffocated to death. They're screaming in my head, making me swell, making me dizzy, making me like look like my eyes start going in different directions, and just, so much started happening, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what? Just from schizophrenia? Are you serious? So, of course, I'm going to seek all these medical professionals, and still no answer. But everything that's happened to me has been almost in sync with what the voices are doing to me, or every word that they say. So they'll say like, oh, this is gonna happen to you, and literally they prophesize it and it happens. You're gonna gain weight. Your daughter's gonna do poorly in school. My daughter, like, and it's just weird. It's weird. And the minute I want to get my life together, and I'm at the point, I'm like, okay, screw dating, screw everything. My daughter is behind in school because of this is trauma on my family. I have to get us back together, and I have to really like organize my life, in which I've been doing in the last, I want to say 3 years. I've really taken a dive into work, going to see my medical professional team, and the more so I try, the more aggressive and hurtful, and like the more I age from the voices, because I'm not looking, what they say is, I'm not innocently looking for a solution. Oh my gosh, I'm like, what? What? Drug test me, like, do whatever, you'll find out. My lifestyle is super clean. I eat healthy. I drink plenty of water. I used to run every day, but I ended up going, I was like, okay, I had lost a ton of weight, and I looked really good, and I was really comfortable with how I felt. But I had like little, stubborn fat, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go get liposuction and kind of reward myself. It's been a really long time. I went and I came back, and that's like even more of my hair fell out because of it. And the voices were telling me, hey, you're going to swell. Ha ha ha. Oh, you think you're going to do something for yourself, you stupid bee. Ha ha, watch me. Ha ha, I made you waste your money, you stupid bee. Your skin isn't going to drape well, you stupid bee, you stupid piece of... And I have photos, like, legit, I have photos of everything, and I'm just relaying like what's been going through my head. And this was prior to the actual like final results, and I had to go back to my doctor, and and when I went back to my doctor, he said, okay, well then let's do a tummy tuck. So we did a tummy tuck, and I'm still recovering from that. So it's been about 6 months since I attempted to go within the 3 months between the first surgery and the second. But I feel like I'm suffocating while I'm there. It's like constantly like this shortness of breath, and it has nothing to do with the surgery. I went and I got MRIs, I got CT scans, I got chest x-rays, I got, like, you name it, I got it. And blood work, and they're like, dude, you're healthy as a horse. Like, I don't understand. Yes, you have a little bit of lipedema, most likely from the surgery, but nothing that is concerning or life-threatening. So I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I'm as soon as I can get into the gym again, I'm going to attempt to. I mean, not attempt to, I'm going. But I'm going to say, we'll see. Because I used to run 45 minutes to an hour easy. Like 4.5, 5 speed. With no problem, no shortness of breath, no nothing. And it was my daily routine. And I can do that 5 to 7 days a week. And now I'm struggling to do 2 days, and I don't smoke or drink. Like, my lungs are super clean. It may not sound like it now. I have allergies. I have 2 kittens now, so that's one of my issues at the moment, is trying to get over these allergies. And I am very homeopathic, so I tried to refrain from medication so my body doesn't get immune to it. And rather my body gets immune to the, what is it called? The dander on their hair, so that I don't, I can tolerate being around them without having a stuffy, runny nose. But anyways, aside from that, yeah, the voices, man, they're sickening. They're actually sickening. My hair fell out in the last year. I want to say most of it is when it fell out. About 80% of my hair fell out. It was about 20 fell out within the first 3 or 4 years of the schizophrenia. And then I'm going on about 6 years now, maybe even 7. And in the last 2 years, maybe a little less, I lost another 60% of my hair. And the voices are just like, F you, stupid B, F you, stupid B. No one gives a ish about you, you stupid B. In my head, constantly. And then they're like, haha, we can sound like the TV in the background, like from your neighbor's house, or we can sound like someone outside. So sometimes I get so paranoid, and I'm not even going to lie. I don't smoke weed, nothing. It's what they say is just, it's so weird and alarming, and they sound so real. So I will place my phone down and record and put it online to see if anyone else hears what I heard, because it's just such a trip. Anyways, so that's my experience, and it is ongoing today. I'm trying to get through my work day, and my daughter's sick, and my place is a little upside down. I haven't been able to lift anything above 5 pounds for about a month, and had a seroma, and I have like just one thing after the other from all the excessive swelling. So I'm like overly compressing at the moment. I can hardly sit. I have to recline most of the time. And I had a hard time finding a surgeon for my aftercare. So now I have all that in place, but it's just like, as soon as I sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm in my cool, I can now somewhat start to knock things off, like my, off more things off my list. It's just like, they just hound me. It's weird. It's weird. I swear they sound like terrorists. I swear. They sound like they're 25, 30-year-olds and up, and they're terrorists. And they're just running amok. And they keep saying they've committed genocide, terrorism. They've committed fraud, identity theft, property damage. They're laundering money. They're human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking. And then, like I said, I have these visuals of them in their homes, like doing drugs. Oh, and one time they were in my head, like I could see this visual of a group of them snorting cocaine. Right after my friend died, and my friend unfortunately had at some point was, you know, it's not a secret, but she was using a little bit, not too much. I don't want to like give her a bad name because she's far from a drug addict. And I really hate saying stuff like that because it's really not my place. But it made me bawl so hard because it was right after she died. Like, haha, we're snorting coke in your head and your friend just died and people are calling her a drug addict bitch. That's what the voices in my fucking head are saying. And I am just like, I was heartbroken. I was mad. Um, I don't even know what to say. If I swear on this planet, there is such a technology and there are such people, I want them sentenced to death and I want that weapon taken off the table immediately. This is like torture to death. The schizophrenia feels like torture to death. It on a regular basis, I literally feel tortured every day. So anyways, hopefully my experience will share a little bit about schizophrenia and help you understand where others are coming from if they're having a hard time explaining it themselves. And other than that, I'll just keep you posted on my daily journal through these videos on what's been going on with me in my life. Have a great day.